Welcome to Lesson 3.6 of the GED Mathematical Reasoning module. In this lesson, we'll focus on two powerful tools that can significantly boost your GED math score, the on-screen calculator and the formulas provided on test day. Knowing how to use both efficiently can save time and prevent mistakes on the real exam. On the GED math test, you'll use the TI-30XS MultiView calculator, which appears right on the screen during the exam. You don't need to bring one. They provide a virtual version for you to use. Key features to know: basic arithmetic, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Fractions and mixed numbers. Easily switch between fractions, decimals, and mixed numbers. Square roots and exponents. Quickly calculate powers and roots. Parentheses. Helps you follow the correct order of operations. Scrolling display lets you review and edit full calculations. No need to retype everything. Calculator tips for test day. Use parentheses whenever they appear in the question. Example, for 3 plus 2 divided by 5, enter it with parentheses just like that. Don't do math in your head under pressure. Use the calculator for everything, even small calculations. Know the key functions: the pi button for pi, the caret symbol for exponents, the square root key, the n/d button, n/d, for entering fractions, the second key to unlock alternate functions. Translate word problems into calculator steps. For example, if it says 25% of 80, enter 25 divided by 100, then multiply by 80. If you make a mistake, use the arrow and backspace keys to fix it. No need to start over. The more familiar you are with the calculator, the more confident you'll feel solving real problems on the GED. Next, let's talk about the must-know GED math formulas. You'll be given a formula sheet on the GED test. You don't have to memorize the formulas, but you must understand how and when to use each one. Area formulas. Rectangle, area equals length multiplied by width. Triangle, area equals 1/2 multiplied by base multiplied by height. Circle, area equals pi multiplied by radius squared. Perimeter and circumference. Rectangle, perimeter. Perimeter equals 2 multiplied by length plus width. Circle, circumference. Circumference equals 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by radius. Or alternatively, circumference equals pi multiplied by diameter. Volume formulas. Rectangular prism, like a box. Volume equals length multiplied by width multiplied by height. Cylinder, volume equals pi multiplied by radius squared multiplied by height. Slope formula. Slope, also called rate of change, equals the difference in the y values divided by the difference in the x values. In other words, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Distance formula, not tested often but can appear, distance, equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Pythagorean theorem, used only for right triangles. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the shorter sides and c is the hypotenuse, longest side. Mean, average. Mean equals sum of all values divided by the number of values. Now that we've covered the most important formulas, let's walk through a few real GED-style examples so you can see how these formulas come to life. Example 1. Area of a triangle. Let's start with the area of a triangle. Suppose you're told a triangle has a base of 10 inches and a height of 6 inches. What is its area? The formula is area equals 1/2 times base times height. So we plug in the numbers. 1/2 times 10 times 6. That's 5 times 6, which equals 30 square inches. Simple, right? Example 2. Volume of a cylinder. Next up, volume. A common formula on the GED is for the volume of a cylinder, which is V equals pi times radius squared times height. Let's say the radius is 3 centimeters and the height is 5. We square the radius first. 3 squared is 9. Then multiply 3.14 times 9 times 5. That gives us 141.3 cubic centimeters. Make sure your calculator is set up to handle decimals and squares smoothly. Example 3. Using a calculator for fractions. Here's a quick one with fractions. The question says, what is 2/3 of 120? All you need to do is multiply 2/3 by 120. You can enter this using the n/d key on your GED calculator. 2/3 times 120 equals 80. So 2/3 of 120 is 80. Example 4. Slope of a line. Let's try one from coordinate geometry. Say the question is, find the slope between the points 2, 4, and 6, 10. The slope formula is, slope equals the change in y over the change in x. So we subtract the y values, 10 minus 4 is 6, then subtract the x values, 6 minus 2 is 4. So, slope equals 6 over 4. That reduces to 1.5. Remember, always subtract in the same direction, top to bottom. Practice using these formulas with real problems until they feel second nature. Don't just memorize, apply. That's what the GED is really testing. Ready for more? Let's keep going. Let's take a quick breather and talk about something important. You don't have to memorize everything. Seriously. On the GED math test, some things are already provided for you, and that's a big relief. First up, you don't need to memorize pi. Just use the pi button on your calculator. It's more accurate anyway. Next, you don't need to memorize all those formulas, like volume, area, or perimeter. They're right there on your formula sheet, ready for you to use. No need to cram them into your brain. And you don't need to know complex geometry rules, like arc length or special triangle ratios, unless they're specifically on the formula sheet. So where should you focus? Focus on understanding when to use a formula. Practice plugging in values correctly, especially with decimals and exponents. And double-check your answers. Logic check them to avoid small errors. The GED isn't about memorization, it's about application. They want to know, can you take a real-world problem and solve it using the tools provided? Let's have a quick recap on what you learned in this lesson. In this lesson, you learned how to navigate and use the TI-30XS calculator effectively. Apply the most commonly tested formulas on the GED. Use strategies and shortcuts to solve faster and more accurately. Avoid unnecessary memorization and focus on understanding. Mastering your calculator and understanding the provided formula sheet are essential GED math test skills. With practice, you'll gain speed, accuracy, and confidence.